Hello, I'm Dr. Ashley Morgan. If you're over 60 and you've noticed your legs feeling heavy, cold, or numb, or maybe you see those swollen ankles at the end of the day, this video could genuinely save your mobility and maybe even your life. I know that sounds dramatic, but poor circulation in your legs isn't just uncomfortable. It's your body's early warning system telling you that something critical is breaking down in your vascular system. The same circulation problems affecting your legs right now are quietly damaging your heart, your brain, and your kidneys. But here's the good news. There's one simple drink you can make in less than 2 minutes every single morning that can reverse poor circulation, reduce that heavy feeling in your legs, and get blood flowing properly again. So stay with me, because I'm going to tell you exactly what this drink is, why it works at the cellular level, and how to make it the right way so you see results within the first week. Now, before I reveal what this drink is, I want you to understand something important. If you're dealing with poor circulation, this isn't your fault. You didn't fail. You're not lazy. What's happening in your legs is a natural consequence of aging, combined with modern lifestyle factors that nobody warned you about when you were younger. Think about it this way. Your circulatory system has been working nonstop for 60+ years, pumping blood through 70,000 miles of blood vessels every single day. Over time, those blood vessels lose elasticity. They get stiff. The smooth muscle lining inside your arteries, called the endothelium, starts producing less nitric oxide, which is the chemical that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. When nitric oxide production drops, your arteries stay constricted, blood flow slows down, and your legs, being the farthest point from your heart, get the least amount of oxygen and nutrients. That's when you start feeling that heaviness, that coldness, that tingling sensation that makes you wonder if something is seriously wrong. Let me explain how circulation is supposed to work so you understand what we're fixing here. Your heart pumps oxygen-rich blood out through your arteries. That blood travels all the way down to your feet, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every muscle, nerve, and cell along the way. Then your veins have to push that blood back up against gravity all the way to your heart. To do this, your leg muscles act like pumps, squeezing the veins every time you walk or move. Inside your veins are tiny one-way valves that prevent blood from flowing backward. It's an elegant system when everything works. But after 60, several things go wrong at once. First, the valves in your veins start to weaken and leak, so blood pools in your lower legs. Second, the endothelial cells lining your arteries produce less nitric oxide, so your arteries stay narrow and stiff. Third, inflammation increases throughout your vascular system, causing plaque buildup that further restricts blood flow. And fourth, if you've spent years sitting more than moving, the muscle pumps in your legs have weakened, so they can't push blood back up efficiently. Now here's what most people don't realize. Poor circulation isn't just about your legs feeling uncomfortable. When blood flow to your legs decreases, you're at dramatically higher risk for blood clots, for deep vein thrombosis, for peripheral artery disease, and eventually for tissue death that can lead to amputation. I don't say this to scare you. I say it because catching this early and fixing it naturally can prevent all of those terrible outcomes. Your legs are like the canary in the coal mine for your entire cardiovascular system. If circulation is failing in your legs, it's also struggling in your heart, your brain, and your kidneys. Fixing leg circulation now protects everything else downstream. So what is this morning drink that can reverse poor circulation? It's a combination of 4 ingredients: beet juice, fresh lemon, a small piece of ginger, and a pinch of cayenne pepper, all mixed in warm water. I know that might sound too simple to work, but stay with me because the science behind this is rock solid. Each ingredient in this drink targets a different part of the circulation problem, and when you combine them, they create a synergistic effect that's more powerful than any single ingredient alone. Let me break down exactly why each component works and what it's doing inside your blood vessels right now. First, beet juice. This is the foundation of this drink, and it's the most powerful natural nitric oxide booster on the planet. Beets are loaded with natural nitrates. When you drink beet juice, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide within 30 to 60 minutes. Nitric oxide is the master regulator of blood vessel function. It signals the smooth muscle in your artery walls to relax and dilate, which immediately increases blood flow. Studies show that drinking beet juice can lower blood pressure by 10 to 15 points and increase blood flow to extremities by up to 40% within just 2 hours. For people over 60 with stiff, narrow arteries, this is a game changer. You're essentially giving your blood vessels the chemical signal they've been missing for years. Second ingredient is fresh lemon juice, and it does two critical things. First, it's packed with vitamin C, which is essential for collagen production. Your blood vessels are made of collagen and elastin. As you age, collagen breaks down, and your vessels lose their flexibility. Vitamin C helps repair and rebuild that collagen structure so your arteries can expand and contract properly again. Second benefit of lemon juice is that it contains powerful antioxidants called flavonoids that reduce inflammation inside your blood vessels. Chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers of plaque buildup and arterial stiffness. By reducing inflammation every single morning, you're preventing further damage and giving your body a chance to heal. Third ingredient is ginger, and this is where things get really interesting. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols that act as natural blood thinners. They prevent platelets from clumping together and forming clots. For people with poor circulation, thick, sluggish blood is a huge problem. When your blood is too thick, your heart has to work harder to push it through narrow vessels, and clots become much more likely. Ginger naturally thins your blood just enough to improve flow without the side effects of pharmaceutical blood thinners. It also has powerful anti-inflammatory properties that calm down the chronic inflammation damaging your vessel walls. Fourth ingredient is cayenne pepper, and it's optional but incredibly effective if you can tolerate a little spice. Cayenne contains capsaicin, the compound that makes it hot. Capsaicin triggers something called vasodilation. It literally forces your blood vessels to open up wide within minutes of consumption. You'll actually feel this happening. Your face might get a little warm, your fingers and toes might start tingling. That's blood rushing into areas that haven't had good circulation in months or even years. Cayenne also strengthens the walls of your arteries and veins over time, making them more resilient and less likely to develop varicose veins or weak valves. Now let me give you the exact recipe and how to make this drink the right way. You need 1 small raw beet or 4 ounces of pure beet juice. If you're using a whole beet, wash it thoroughly, chop it into chunks, and blend it with a little water until it's completely smooth. You can strain it if you want, but I recommend drinking it with the fiber because that fiber feeds the good bacteria in your gut, and those bacteria actually help produce more nitric oxide. Next, add the juice of half a fresh lemon. Don't use bottled lemon juice. Fresh is critical because the vitamin C starts degrading the moment you cut the lemon, so you want maximum potency. Then add a 1-inch piece of fresh ginger, peeled and grated or blended. If you don't have fresh ginger, you can use half a teaspoon of ginger powder, but fresh is always better. Then add a tiny pinch of cayenne pepper. Start with just a pinch, like 1/8 of a teaspoon. You can increase this over time as your tolerance builds. Mix everything into 8 ounces of warm water. Warm water is important because it helps your body absorb the nutrients faster, and it's gentler on your digestive system first thing in the morning. Now here's the critical part. Drink this entire mixture on an empty stomach as soon as you wake up. Timing is everything. You want to drink this at least 30 minutes before you eat anything else. Why? Because when your stomach is empty, the nitrates from the beet juice are absorbed directly into your bloodstream without competition from other foods. Within 30 to 60 minutes, you'll have peak nitric oxide levels circulating through your system, opening up your blood vessels right when you need it most as you start your day. If you drink this with food or after eating, the absorption slows down, and you lose some of the immediate cardiovascular benefits. Let me tell you about a patient of mine named Robert. He's 72 years old, and he came to my office complaining about leg pain when he walked more than a block. His legs felt like cement. They were cold to the touch even in the summer. He had visible swelling around his ankles every evening. I measured his ankle brachial index, which is a test that compares blood pressure in the ankle to blood pressure in the arm. Normal is 1.0 or higher. Robert's was 0.6, which indicated significant peripheral artery disease. I told him about this morning drink, and I'll be honest, he was skeptical. He thought it sounded like something from a health food blog, not a real medical treatment. But he was desperate, and medication hadn't helped much, so he agreed to try it for 30 days. Within 1 week, he called me to say his legs felt lighter. Within 2 weeks, he could walk 3 blocks without pain. At the 30-day follow-up, we retested his ankle brachial index, and it had improved to 0.85. That's a massive improvement. His legs were warmer. The swelling was almost completely gone. He told me he felt like he had his life back, because he could walk his dog again without suffering. Now, this morning drink is powerful on its own, but if you want to maximize your results, there are 3 other things you need to do every single day to support healthy circulation. Number 1 is movement. I'm not talking about intense exercise. I'm talking about walking for 30 minutes every single day. Walking is the best exercise for leg circulation because every step you take contracts your calf muscles, and those contractions squeeze your veins and push blood back up toward your heart. If you've been sedentary for years, your calf muscles have weakened, and they're not pumping blood effectively anymore. 30 minutes of walking every day retrains those muscles and restores the natural pumping action your body is designed to use. Number 2, elevate your legs for 15 minutes twice a day. Lie on your back and prop your legs up on pillows so your feet are higher than your heart. Gravity instantly helps drain the pooled blood and fluid out of your lower legs and back toward your heart. This reduces swelling, reduces pressure on those weak valves in your veins, and gives your circulatory system a break. Do this once in the afternoon and once before bed. You'll notice the difference immediately. Your legs will feel lighter, and if you've been dealing with restless legs at night, this often eliminates that problem completely. Number 3 is hydration. Most people over 60 are chronically dehydrated and don't even realize it. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thick and sluggish. Thick blood doesn't flow well through narrow vessels, and it puts extra strain on your heart. You need at least 8 full glasses of water every single day, and I mean pure water, not coffee, not tea, not soda. Water. If your urine is dark yellow, you're dehydrated. It should be pale yellow or almost clear. Proper hydration alone can improve circulation by 20 to 30% just by thinning your blood and making it easier to pump. Now let me talk about warning signs that mean you need to see a doctor immediately, not just try this drink and wait. If you have leg pain that comes on with walking and goes away with rest, that's called claudication, and it means you have significant blockage in the arteries supplying your legs. If you have sores or wounds on your feet or legs that aren't healing, that's a sign of severely compromised blood flow, and you're at risk for infection and tissue death. If one leg is suddenly more swollen than the other, that could be a blood clot, and that's a medical emergency. If your legs are pale or blue or feel ice cold even in a warm room, that's a sign of critical circulation failure. These situations require immediate medical attention, not home remedies. But if you're dealing with general heaviness, cold feet, mild swelling, and fatigue in your legs, this morning drink combined with the lifestyle changes I mentioned can absolutely turn things around. Let me give you a realistic timeline for what to expect. In the first 3 to 5 days, you'll notice your legs feel lighter, especially in the morning. That heavy, sluggish feeling when you first stand up will start to fade. By week 2, you should notice your feet and legs are warmer throughout the day. Cold extremities are one of the first signs of poor circulation, and they're also one of the first things to improve when blood flow increases. By week 3 to 4, swelling should be significantly reduced. If you've been dealing with puffy ankles or tight shoes by the end of the day, that should be mostly resolved. By week 6 to 8, you should have noticeably more energy and endurance. Activities that used to make your legs ache, like grocery shopping or walking around the block, should feel easier and more comfortable. This isn't an overnight miracle. Your circulatory system has been declining for years, and it takes consistent daily effort to reverse that damage. But if you stick with this morning drink every single day for 2 months, the changes will be undeniable. I also want to address some common mistakes people make that sabotage their circulation, even if they're doing everything else right. First mistake is sitting for hours without moving. Even if you walk for 30 minutes in the morning, if you then sit in a recliner or at a desk for the next 8 hours, blood is going to pool in your legs, and all that morning progress gets erased. Set a timer for every hour. When it goes off, stand up and walk around for 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes of movement every hour is enough to keep blood flowing and prevent that dangerous pooling effect. Second mistake is wearing tight clothing or compression garments that are too strong. I see a lot of people wearing knee-high socks with tight elastic bands or shoes that are too tight. These constrict blood flow and make circulation worse, not better. If you want to use compression socks, get them professionally fitted and make sure they're the right strength for your situation. Most people with mild circulation issues don't need compression at all. They just need movement and better blood flow. Third mistake is smoking or being around secondhand smoke. Smoking is absolutely devastating to your circulation. Nicotine causes your blood vessels to constrict, carbon monoxide replaces oxygen in your blood, and the thousands of chemicals in cigarette smoke damage the endothelial lining of your arteries. If you're still smoking and you're wondering why your circulation is terrible, that's your answer. Quitting smoking is the single most impactful thing you can do for your vascular health, even more than this morning drink. One more thing I want to mention. Some people ask me if they can just take a beet supplement or a nitric oxide pill instead of making this drink every morning. Here's the truth. Whole food sources are always more effective than isolated supplements. When you drink fresh beet juice with lemon, ginger, and cayenne, you're getting hundreds of beneficial compounds that work together synergistically. You're getting fiber, antioxidants, enzymes, and cofactors that help your body absorb and use the nitrates more effectively. Supplements give you one isolated chemical, and your body doesn't absorb it as well or use it as efficiently. If convenience is a major issue, yes, a beet supplement is better than nothing. But if you want maximum results, make the drink fresh every single morning. I know some of you are thinking, Dr. Morgan, this sounds great, but I don't like the taste of beets. I get it. Beets have a strong, earthy flavor that not everyone enjoys. Here's what you can do. Add a handful of frozen berries, like strawberries or blueberries, to the mix. They add natural sweetness, and they're loaded with their own circulation-boosting antioxidants. You can also add a teaspoon of raw honey if you need a little more sweetness. Just don't add sugar. Sugar causes inflammation and damages your blood vessels, which completely defeats the purpose of this drink. If this video has given you hope that you can fix your circulation naturally without invasive procedures or a lifetime of medication, I want you to do 3 things right now. First, write down this recipe so you can make this drink first thing tomorrow morning. 1 small beet or 4 ounces of beet juice, half a fresh lemon, 1 inch of ginger, and a pinch of cayenne, mixed in warm water on an empty stomach. Second, share this video with a friend, a spouse, or a family member who's also dealing with circulation problems. Poor circulation is so common in people over 60, and most of them have no idea that something this simple can make such a dramatic difference. Third, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications, because in the upcoming videos, I'm going to show you the #1 food that's secretly destroying your blood vessels, and what to eat instead to rebuild healthy arteries at any age. Remember, your circulation problems didn't develop overnight, and they won't disappear overnight. But if you commit to this morning drink, daily walking, leg elevation, and proper hydration, you can absolutely reverse poor circulation and get your energy, your mobility, and your quality of life back. Your legs are designed to carry you through life with strength and comfort. Don't accept heaviness, coldness, and pain as just part of getting older. You deserve better, and your body is fully capable of healing when you give it the right tools. I'm Dr. Ashley Morgan, and I'll see you in the next video.